talk about clone movies.
What do you mean everybody loves a clone movie?
Right.
Name me a clone movie.
Name me a clone
That's
movie.
what I'm asking you.
How about this?
Oh,
What's
hold on, there's
what's
some
the
great-
best clone movie of all time?
Body Snatchers.
No. It's a great movie, but the best clone movie of all time is
What did he say?
We come to this place for magic, to laugh,
To cry.
To Care.
but most importantly, to argue about movies. My name is Tony. As always, I'm joined by Kellerman and Cheese, and we are
The Box Office Buds.
This week is a big week. We're going to be talking about Oscars Sunday and what went on with Conan O'Brien's hosting Honora's Champion. Congratulations, Alcheh, on
Hey,
that.
shallow me.
The rest of
Whatever.
today's show is all about Alcheh. We're debuting his first movie
That's right.
in the Movie Fantasy League, the Box Office Fantasy League. Mickey 17 is coming out. We'll be going over the top 3 clone movies of all time based off of Mickey 17, and then we're ending with a little bit of controversy over one of our favorite cartoon characters. But boys, Oscars happened. It's Hollywood's biggest night. It's their Super Bowl. I personally thought it was a fantastic show. I loved Conan. I loved Cynthia and Ariana Grande coming out to open up the show. Beautiful, beautiful voices. I could have done without all the other musical interludes that lengthened the show. But overall, I think the right people won, and you're very happy.
They sure did, Tony.
Yeah.
They sure did. Kellerman, did you happen to see that Honora won everything? Best Picture,
of
Best
awards.
Editing, Best Actress,
Director.
Best Director.
It sure did.
Most importantly, Best Picture, which
did.
means I'm going to Mickey 17
I owe you a movie
on
ticket.
Stellarman's dime.
I do.
Thank
I
you
know.
kindly, sir.
The substance really got snubbed, in my opinion.
Yeah, especially Demi Moore. I thought Demi Moore, huge favorite going into the night, betting odds favorite going into the night, and Mikey Madison came away with the award. You're happy about that, though. You wanted that to happen.
I think it was the most complete performance in this year's Oscar Best Actress category. She absolutely crushed it. She was everything and more. I don't even need to repeat it. Go to the last episode and watch it. I talked ad nauseum about it. She is a genius actress.
Real fast, I'm just hearing right now, we have a little bit more of Adrian Brody's 17-minute speech to give coming to you right now. Jesus Christ, man.
5 minutes, 40 seconds, the longest speech ever in Oscar history.
And
Was
what
it
did
really?
he say? What did he say? He said nothing. I'm not going to lie. He said nothing in that 5 minutes and 40 seconds. I was actually angry by the end of it. I didn't want him to win anymore.
Yes, Brody's speech, very, very long. Not much substance.
No.
Not much for the substance.
No, I'm sorry about your movie.
Kind
I
of
like,
reminds me of The Brutalist, actually. Really long and not much substance.
I like the substance a lot. It did lose a lot of awards, but the biggest thing I
Lost
can
all
say
the awards.
about Amelia Perez is that lady who won for Best Original Song, right? El Mal, she
Yeah.
came up and during her Oscar speech started singing at the end of it. How did we not get a cut to John Lithgow giving the disappointed face during that whole entire exchange? Because that was, I almost changed the channel. That lady wouldn't stop singing. And even the guy next to her, like, kind of sang along, but at the same time was like, let's get out of here. It was terrible.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear this.
No, nobody at all. But overall, I thought it was a really fun show.
Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande.
Oh my, I was crying.
I'm gonna bring it back. It was like arguably the best Oscar performance of all time, starting with Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Beautiful.
Yeah, wow.
Stunning, absolutely stunning. Going into Cynthia Erivo, coming out and singing The Wiz.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Yeah.
Genius. Whoever decided to do that was brilliant. And then, of course, finishing with Defying Gravity. Nobody does it better than Cynthia Erivo.
It was
Absolutely,
unbelievable.
absolutely stunning.
And to do it live. Like, it's not easy to do, to sing live in front of all of your,
Gorgeous.
like, legends of
Yeah,
the
the
game. I thought it was fantastic.
Absolutely gorgeous. There's a picture of a wide shot of Ariana Grande with the rainbow going down on her, and everyone
Wow.
saying, "Put it in the Louvre." It was stunning, absolutely stunning.
I do just want to be clear that
The Louvre or
the
okay.
Live is correct.
Okay.
The Louvre. How do you say it?
I do just want to say that I didn't dislike Honora or anything. I didn't want Honora to lose, right? I just
No, I know.
thought that
I
the
will say-
substance
I'm so
was
glad you
going
said
to
that.
win.
Thank you. That
I
makes me
will
feel so much better.
now it has won all of the awards. It won Best Picture. It won Best Actress. I'm sure there's a lot of parents in Middle America right now saying, let's have a date night when the kids go to bed. Let's put on this Best Picture and check it out. Be prepared. Strap yourself in.
It's raunchy.
There's a lot. There's a lot going on.
It's raunchy.
Don't have Junior coming down the stairs watching it over your shoulder. I'll just put it out that way. There's a lot of questions you'd have to answer if that happens.
Yeah, we definitely started it while Asher was still awake, and we paused it within 14 seconds, and we're like, let's wait till he's asleep.
You want to watch Toy Story, bud?
Yeah,
Come on.
I will say we started watching the Oscars, and when Conan O'Brien came out of friggin' Demi Moore's back at the Substance, Asher's like, "What's going on here?" And I'm like, "Dude, what are we doing? This is supposed to be a kid show."
Would you want Conan back?
Ooh, good question. Good question. I thought he was solid.
Yeah.
I didn't think he impeded the awards. I thought he had a couple good zingers. The Trump zinger was also like stellar, really, really well
It was
timed.
well done. It was a well done Trump joke.
Very, very good. I don't know, man. I think Kimmel is slightly better, and nobody's even close to it. Nobody's coming even close to as good as Billy Crystal.
No,
so I need
that's a
somebody
legend.
else. I'd rather have Nikki Glaser host the Oscars again, but she's probably going to do the Globes again anyway. So as long as she's got a hosting gig, I'm cool. I want to see someone else in the seat next year.
I was going to say, I was thinking about this last night. You know, we're kind of screwed in the next coming years because there'll always be the Nikki Glazers of the world, but those talk show hosts are really getting, they ain't getting any younger. And who's the next generation of Oscar hosts for us? Are we really going to watch Jimmy Fallon up there?
You're saying that I need to host the Oscars?
Just throwing it out there.
The F
three of
News
us.
guy, give me a break. Absolutely, get out there.
Alcheh could do the musical number. I could do the jokes. Kellerman could write about the awards. I think it would all work out. But that's it about Oscar talk. It's, we're putting it away for another year. If we're here next year, we'll do another box office Oscars. Alien Romulus was not mentioned at all during the evening. But let's move on to the movie that's coming out this week. It's time to talk about Mickey 17. So if you're just new to this show and you don't know the genesis of why we're doing this, the Box Office Buds, it's because the three of us you see are in a fantasy movie league, a box office fantasy league. We each draft 5 movies. Whoever makes the most money in the worldwide box office by the end of the calendar year wins the league. And I, again, am leading this show because last year I won this whole thing.
I cannot
But
wait
this
for that
year-
joke to end.
This year has already begun. Captain America's been out there. Dogman somehow is out there making money. And this week, we're talking about a movie, Mickey 17, the first time on this show that one of the hosts has one of their team movies debuting. Alcheh, are you excited?
Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Hey, Mickey. I'm very excited. I cannot wait for this movie, A.
Yep.
And B, I finally have a stake in the game. Are you kidding
You
me?
do.
A clone movie. Bong Joon Ho. Pattinson. Cannot wait for this flick. It's going to be good. Already sitting at 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. Already
numbers.
making $9 million in
right,
Korea.
in Korea.
It is on the board. It has opened up in Korea. I cannot wait for this movie. So much so because this movie was supposed to come out a year ago today. March 17th was when this movie was supposed to come out, and they pushed it back a whole year due to the strikes, due to editing conflicts. There were all these things floating around, but the point is, it's coming out right now, and I'm very much excited. It's his first movie since Parasite.
It sure is.
Yeah.
Parasite snuck up on everyone.
Yep.
Truly one of the best movies in the last decade. Would you all agree with that?
I
Yes.
would.
I was utterly floored by every aspect of it. And what I love about Bong Joon Ho is that he's not afraid of comedy. And Mickey 17 looks like a full-on sci-fi comedy.
Yeah.
And we haven't had one like that was really, really good in years, I don't think.
I'm excited.
And, I love the fact that, like, the book is called Mickey 7, originally based on the book Mickey 7. And he was like, you know what? I want to turn it into Mickey 17. And they asked him why, and he was like, because it's more fun.
Yeah.
He didn't even, have a real answer. And I love that.
I will say 17 is there's numbers out there that just work. 17 is one of them. 44 is one of them. Mickey 17 just sticks. I'm really excited.
Rolls off the tongue.
It really
Absolutely.
does, and it really hits hard. This movie, if you have not seen any of the trailers, Robert Pattinson plays a set of clones in this movie, asked to do odd jobs and tasks that regular humans don't want to do, and when Mickey dies, a new one is made, and he gets to keep going, and we're now entering the world with a 17th Mickey. And again, I'm not giving anything away. If you watch the trailer, an 18th Mickey shows up, and chaos ensues. I'm thrilled for this movie, Kellerman. You're the sci-fi guy. Are you excited about this?
I think it looks great. I feel like me and Cheese have been defending it against people in our text thread.
Not only is it going to make money, it's going to be awesome.
Well, yeah,
it's going to be
think-
really well made.
Exactly.
Period.
Yes.
Regardless of whether people like it or whether it makes money, it's going to be well made because the director is so capable. And Pattinson typically very good in his movies.
I will say he's
and
extremely
he
good
chooses
actor.
some very odd roles.
Very weird
does, and
roles.
I love
but do you think Pattinson is a box office guy?
Well,
yet?
let me.
I don't. You know what? I don't. I don't think that he puts a lot of butts in seats. But hold on.
I don't know.
Maybe
I
I
don't
should
know.
walk that back a little
Let
bit.
me
He's the
enlighten-
Twilight
let
guy.
me enlighten you a hair.
Twilight was a thing. I know you want to get into this, but Twilight was a thing. Like Pattinson alone. Like, The Lighthouse, all these other great movies he's
Right.
done. Batman's different. Everyone's going to go see it because it's Batman. But Pattinson alone on a movie poster, I don't think sells the ticket.
But I think that's only because the movies he's in are so weird.
Yeah.
It's
Well, let
not
me enlighten
because,
you. Pattinson has been a leading man in 23 films. Yes, predominantly in the Twilight.
Is he 23 years old yet?
Yes, predominantly in Batman. But equal measure, the strangest movie of all time for such things like Good Times,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is where I fell in love with
Sure.
Robert Pattinson. The Safdie Brothers movie. If you haven't seen Good Times, go see it. You will
Another
realize that
A24
Pattinson
classic.
so good, and
He's
you,
great.
You will
No
realize that
denying that.
Pattinson is an excellent actor.
Right, but does he put butts in seats?
So the average of those 23 movies is $189 million in the box office. Between the lows of Good Times, which was like $7 million and made no money,
Yeah.
and the highs of The Batman, which made $750 million on a franchise that is
But that's the
obviously
Batman. Yeah.
That's Batman.
So he's the reason why I drafted this movie is that it's probably somewhere in between. You have the love of Bong Joon Ho. Parasite made $252 million worldwide. Yes, predominantly after the Oscars and the
also-
international
Yeah, right.
sales.
Also 80% international, yeah.
Yes, but I still feel
That could happen again.
That could happen again. I think it's going to be somewhere a little closer to like 70 or 60 because Pattinson is a draw and the sci-fi genre is a draw. So you have the perfect combination of Bong Joon-ho internationally, the follow-up to what is one of the best movies of the decade. You have Pattinson coming off of Batman, so everyone's seen him on their screens recently, and a sci-fi comedy. It's a wonderful conglomeration of brilliance.
I don't know if sci-fi comedy puts butts in seats either, but I get where you're trying to go with this. I do want to say, with Robert Pattinson, I love him as an actor. I don't believe he puts butts in seats, but this whole, the next Parasite step, I think it's huge for people who live in LA. I think it's huge for people who live in New York. Do you think most of America knows who Bong Joon-ho is?
It only made $50 million domestically, so I really don't. Hard to say.
Hard to say.
But this is an American movie, right?
Yeah.
It's in English. It's his first English
Unlike
language movie. Yes.
Parasite.
Yeah.
So if this is good, I think that it sets him on a path to being more successful in America specifically.
The other good news for Mickey 17 and for your fantasy box office hopes here is that, yes, there's a Dave Bautista movie coming out from the people who made Resident Evil. Nobody's watching that
I was
movie.
going to ask what it's coming out against.
No, everybody's, we've seen Captain America drop so much over the past few weekends. No one's watching Dogman or any of the other movies that are out right now. This is really alone in the fight for a few weeks until Snow White. That's the next
nobody
big
is
one that comes
watching a
out.
Paul W.S. Anderson film starring Dave Bautista.
No, nobody
okay?
is.
Well,
So that's
hold
a
on
good thing
second.
for
It's
Mickey
got Mila
17.
Jovovich also, and I like
In
Paul
the
W.S.
Lost Lands?
Anderson.
Great. Congratulations.
But-
You will be in an empty
Granted,
theater
I
at
hadn't heard
11
of the
a.m.
movie
Let me
until-
let me ask you who's putting more butts in seats, Mila Jovovich or Robert Pattinson?
I hope
that'd
it's
be a
Robert
toss-up,
Pattinson at this
honestly.
point.
That's insane.
What I'm saying is, I think Mickey 17.
What? Mila Jovovich?
Nobody watches those movies.
Based on George R. R. Martin book too.
Nobody watches those movies. Moving forward, though, I think Mickey 17 has a few weeks and has a few legs here, so I do think that will help, especially if it's 89% of Rotten Tomatoes, like you said, and the audience reviews start coming in as well.
And it's the biggest opening of 2025 in Korea. Yes, it's only been a couple months, but that means something.
It does.
Of course, it means
It creates a
something, but
buzz.
that's his hometown, like his home country. I mean, of course he's
Bong
going to.
Joon-ho's home country.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's-
But Pattinson has the whole American audience, has the U.S. audience.
I wouldn't count on Korea's numbers
So
to
let's
project to
say-
other places' numbers.
So here's my thought process. Parasite made $50 million domestically, made more
Over
math to
250.
equal 250 internationally. I think if we get to 75 domestically and we get to 175 internationally, we're sitting pretty at 250, and that's exactly where I want it to be.
That's exactly where you want it to be. That's your prediction. That's where you think Mickey 17 is going to end up worldwide by the end of it all is 250 million.
I would say 230, but yeah,
I-
230.
Let's put it down. We're gonna come back to these later. We're all wrong on Captain America with
we
our
were.
first thing that we did, but you're at 230 or 250.
I'm at 230.
Kellerman?
Gosh.
Worldwide, when it's all said and done, Mickey 17, what does it end up with?
If it's as good as Parasite,
Yeah.
but without the barrier of it being in a foreign language, I really think it could do more. But gosh, that's right at the right at the cusp of what I was
I really
thinking.
think it's a tough sell. I'm not lying to you. I think it's a tough sell.
I think it's like 200 million, so I would go on
200, 230. I'm at 170. I'm going with Mickey 17. I'm going with 170. I still think it's a good pick. I still think it's going to be a great
What, are you
movie.
doing like a numerological thing with 17 and 170?
Absolutely. I think it's going to be a really good movie. I think I'm gonna personally go see this in the theaters. I'm excited to see the movie. I'm excited. I am a Pattinson fan. I am a Bong Joon Ho fan. I don't think most of the America and most of the world is going to care about this movie to put as much money into it as Parasite made, because again, Parasite swept the Oscars. People went and saw that for weeks after the Oscars came out. Mickey 17 is not going to have that long of a shelf life. So I'm going to go low here on 170. I am excited though. I think you should be excited. I'm also maybe contending against this movie and don't want it to perform well because I want to beat Alcheh and stay on this show.
We want to beat Cheese, but I really think that I wanted this movie.
I think it's going to do well. I
it.
think it's a great like sneaky pick, and not to mention I have a little wager in the game against our producer here. He's got Dogman. I just have to beat Dogman, and everything is okay for me. So
what did Dogman end up making total?
Where's Dogman at right now?
That could be
13 million.
Dogman's at 113.
113.
So
that's beating Dogman by a mile. Don't get me wrong.
Dogman's got no chance, and I feel very good about that. But I also feel like this movie's going to have legs. It's going to be something that people are going. Word of mouth's going to spread. Articles are going to come out about it. People are going to be very excited about it.
Hopefully,
I agree.
And it's a follow-up, and I'm very, very excited. Not to mention, it's a clone movie. Everyone loves a clone movie.
What do you mean everyone loves a clone
Let's
movie?
talk about clone movies.
What do you mean everybody loves a clone movie?
right.
Name me a clone movie.
Name me a clone
That's
movie.
what I'm asking you.
How about this?
Oh,
What's
hold
the
on, there's
what's
some
the
great-
best clone movie of all time?
Body Snatchers.
No. It's a great movie, but the best clone movie of all time is Jurassic Park.
Ooh, good one. Dinosaur clones.
Because they're
I didn't think
cloning
about
the
it.
Amber?
Yeah.
Yeah? I'm
That's
just trying
what
to
a
remember
clone
what
is.
Mr. DNA told me on what was happening.
Exactly. All the
Yeah.
dinosaurs are clones.
Okay,
Yes,
that's a great
they're
movie.
all
Jurassic
clones. Jurassic Park is the best clone movie of all time.
What about Attack of the Clones?
I just feel Star Wars?
Yeah. Those movies. I'm not a
I don't
prequel
know.
guy, but I'd throw
all right,
it out
top
there.
3 clone movies of all
Two's
time.
got to be. I think Invasion of the Body Snatchers as like the original clone movie has to be on that list.
Excellent
I'm
flick.
okay with that.
Excellent flick.
I'm okay
I'll
with
think
that.
about that. I'll
And-
think about
and
that.
I'll tell you. Let me just throw out the two that stick in my mind. I don't know if they're necessarily good, but the two clone movies that always stick out in my mind are Michael Bay's The Island.
Oh yeah.
It's
Not a good movie.
Not great, but it always sticks out in my mind. And what was the one with Tom Cruise? Oblivion.
Oblivion. Also, not
sure.
a good movie.
I thought it was cool.
You know what
It's
sticks out in my
crazy.
mind? Multiplicity with Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
The 1994 classic.
Who doesn't love Michael Keaton?
2 weeks in a row, Michael Keaton gets a reference on this show. Can we make
Baby.
it 3? Can we make it
Multiplicity
3?
plays 7 versions of himself that get dumber and dumber each
Yeah.
time.
So Jurassic Park, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Tony, what is your
Is
what is your input
iRobot a
here?
clone movie or is it just a robot movie?
That's a
robot
robot
movie.
movie.
They
Doesn't
make
count.
clones of the robots.
No,
I mean,
absolutely
no,
not.
that's not a, you don't.
that's not it?
No.
Big fan of iRobot.
Robots aren't clones.
I mean, again, I think Jurassic Park is a great one, and I think I tell you the truth, I cannot remember the last time I saw that movie.
Well, you should go for it. It's a
W.S.
stellar rewatch.
Anderson. Resident Evil movies. Almost all of those are clone movies.
They're not making the list.
First of all, there's a movie that came out last year that's really, really good. I'm sure none of you saw it, but did you watch They Clone Tyrone on
I
Netflix?
did. I didn't like that.
I
that
liked
much.
it a lot.
I don't think that's making
I like
top
all
3.
those actors, and it really just
Yeah, I
didn't
don't
do
think
it.
that's making
Austin
top 3.
Powers?
Austin Powers. What, Mini Me?
Spy Who Shagged Me. Well, you also have the
The
Fembots.
Mini Me? The
right?
Fembots are robots. What are you talking
but
about?
don't they clone?
No,
what's her face?
no.
to make
The
her
only
up?
clone in Austin
The only
Powers
clone
is
is Mini-Me, and
he's
he's definitely a clone.
Well, I
Definitely
mean,
a
I
clone.
think Austin Powers has
That
to be
counts
on
as
there.
a clone.
I think Austin
Does it
Powers
count?
has to
All
be on there.
right. Ha! Jurassic Park. Multiplicity.
Is it Spy Who Shagged Me or Goldmember?
Spy Who Shagged Me.
Spy Who Shagged Me.
You don't like Goldmember, huh?
I like Goldmember, but Spy Who
the
Shagged Me's
OG
better.
of Mini-Me is the
Yeah.
second one. Hello.
Okay, fine. All right, so Austin Powers, Spy Who Shagged
Jurassic
Me.
Park.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Jurassic Park, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Austin Powers, Spy Who Shagged Me. Definitive list
The
for
top,
sure.
the
Clone
top 3, the top 3 clone movies. Let's move back to Mickey 17, however.
Yes.
Let's make some predictions. We already talked about how much money this is going to make in the total worldwide, but you see, we have a competition going on this show. Every time we talk about a movie,
Here
we
we go.
predict how well it's going to do domestically opening weekend. Last week, we talked about a movie that nobody saw, a scuba movie called Last Breath starring Woody Harrelson. You didn't see that, right?
You know, I almost did.
Yeah, but you didn't.
But then I didn't.
It's huge
I'm
to
kind
get
of proud of
him
you
to
for
not
the
see a movie.
restraint. I'm proud of you for the restraint.
It's huge to get him to not go to the movies and see something.
It's true,
But me and him won our prediction that it would get over 5 million domestically. It
Sure
hit
did.
7. Alcheh, what'd you guess? That's right. You guessed the under. Losing your undefeated streak. He's 2-1. He's 2-1. And again, the defending champion of the
Wow.
Box Office
This
Fantasy
guy.
League is 3-0 on this show, yet to take a loss, and we have now entered the month
If
of
you haven't
March.
figured out, there's no one more annoying on planet
boy.
Earth than Tony Cabell.
Have you ever heard of a sore winner?
If you're going to talk the talk, you have to walk the walk, and these boots are a walking.
I think Shakespeare said that, you know?
Let's make a prediction for Mickey 17, however. Again, projected to do internationally, we're not going to touch because we don't really know what those numbers could be. We expect them to be bigger than domestically, but domestically, this movie is opening up only against that Resident Evil knockoff movie with Dave Bautista. Mickey 17, however, domestically. I'm putting the number at 17 million. Are you going over or under Mickey 17's 17? Let's start with the man who has the movie.
Over.
I mean, that was pretty predictable. He's going over 17. He wants this movie to be
But
over
barely.
17.
If I'm being very honest, I think it will kick off at $18 million. And internationally is where I'm going to make my hay. Again, over 17 at like 18.2.
On to Kellerman, 17 million over or under domestically.
Domestic opening weekend?
That's what the bet is
It
every
did
single
9
week.
in Korea?
Did 9.
I'm going to go under.
Oh, mama!
Another difference between Alex and Alex. And which Alex am I joining? The champion of this so-called game that we play? I'm going under 17 as well. I want this to do well. I want to be
We
wrong
all want it
here.
to do well.
I just think we're going under 17, and I'm excited. Again, I will be one of the people that pays money to see it this weekend. However, I
Thanks
don't
for
think a
your
lot of
donation.
people are going to be paying money to see it this weekend. Yeah, I'm under 17. Sorry, Alcheh, you're alone
Utter
on this
horse
boat.
hockey. No one cares about Captain America anymore. They're all flooding the theaters.
That is
to
very
see
true.
Mickey 17.
That is very true. No one cares about Captain America except,
Nobody
of course,
cared about Captain America, but you think they're going to care about Mickey 17?
You better believe it, baby!
The one person that does care about Captain America is our good friend Dangles because he still leads our league. You
Shout
can see
out
the
Dangles.
standings on the screen right now. Dangles is leading the way. TJ still in second with friggin' Dogman. And then finally we have third place, 9 million from Korea.
I will
Mickey
say,
17.
if Captain America, he was hoping to hang his hat on that. It's not
Ooh,
looking good to
troubling
go
him
over even
real
500 right
hard.
now, and that is
Yeah.
a scary proposition, and also like a scary thing to see for the rest of
I agree.
the calendar year in the box
It's still
office.
early, though.
It is.
We're not in the summer or anything like that.
This is
yes,
true.
but at this point last year, Dune 2 was already over 700 million. You know, there was already still that one movie that created this league and started running through the rest of them. So
Dune 2 came out that early in the year?
Well, it was one of the
Yeah.
first movies in our league, and that led. Dangles was in the lead for a long time until the summer hit.
Right.
He's going to lose that lead relatively quickly coming into this season, and we have Snow White in 2 weeks, so who knows what that will be.
That's going to be a toss-up, too.
Last words on Mickey 17, my friend. Again, this is your movie. Do you want to look into the camera and tell the world how much they should go see this movie? Help a brother out. Help Alcheh win this league.
See it. See it this weekend. See it twice. See it thrice. See it 17 times.
For the first time ever on this show, we are doing a segment called The Scouting Report, where we take a magnifying glass and we look into the future, telescope, microscope, something, to look into the future, to talk about movies that are coming out way down the line, because there's some controversy surrounding the movie we're going to talk about today. Shrek 5 comes out Christmas weekend in 2026. We will be drafting movies in our fantasy league that year, so we need to decide how much money is it going to make, looking into the future, trying to plan for 2026 to build our teams. This is, like drafting players, building out the farm system, talking about the future of this league. But Shrek 5 has a little bit of a problem. Big controversy with this one, as the characters did not look like Shrek's 1 through 4. Alcheh, did you notice the differences at all in all of the characters in this one?
How could you not?
Yeah.
How could you not? It's a stark contrast from the animation of the previous 4. Congrats to Zendaya on what appears to be a very exciting 2026 for her.
Amazing.
But I'm not pumped to see this after these, by the way. It's
Why-
very confusing.
Why did we have to change the characters? Kelman, did you even notice a difference in these, or am I just making stuff up?
I noticed a difference, though I didn't think it was that egregious. It makes me wonder, though, why it was changed. You know?
I have no idea.
Do you think that it's because of? Do you think that it's a cheaper form of animation, or some sort of like cost, or like why would they go with a different animation company, or do you think that the company changed the way that they were animating it because they wanted to do it more like other animated films of our current time.
I don't know why they would change it to make it more of the current time because, again, you don't change how Woody looks in Toy Story. It doesn't matter.
You're right.
But what did shock me was I was actually watching The Wild Robot recently, and they had the intro. DreamWorks had the intro, I believe, where all these characters come out as you're guiding through before you get to the new DreamWorks. And Shrek's in there. And Shrek's like guiding you along, and he looks like Shrek. So I don't know when this change happened, but it happened from The Wild Robot releasing to this casting announcement. And my only thought is, it has something to do with trademark. Whether the original animator or the original company that made Shrek originally, so I don't know why DreamWorks wouldn't have the trademark,
right.
But either way, they couldn't make it the way that he's normally made. So I'm sitting here wondering why Shrek looks like this, and do you think it's going to affect performance of this movie, Alcheh?
Thanks to producer TJ, who just informed us that they changed companies, and the company who does the animation now is the same company who does How to Train Your Dragon, which makes a lot of sense. It's kind of the in-between Shrek and How to Train Your Dragon animation.
Supposedly it has better lighting, and it just is better animation technically.
Fantastic. Make it the old character.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know how the lighting of this open source company changes the eye position of Shrek on the character. I don't know how Donkey now looks like a different donkey.
Sure, I feel like Fiona's ears were more pronounced or something.
I don't get it. How do you? I understand if the shades do. He's a different color green. His face shouldn't be different. Doesn't make any sense.
I can't argue that one. It is a little strange, definitely off-putting. I will say, what I also think is they are trying to Shrek 1. The difference between the content in Shrek 1 to 4 is vast as well. Shrek 1 was a lot more raunchy, a lot more like fart jokes.
You said you hadn't seen 4. I think all 4 of the original Shreks are really good, personally.
I love all of them, but 4 is vastly different in terms of it's more kid-friendly, it's more universal.
You're right.
Shrek was trying to appeal, I feel, to the 10-year-olds and their parents, not the 5-year-olds and their parents. And I think this new Shrek is aiming to appease a younger audience, a more universal audience, and they're changing the content and thereby also changing the animation style to meet it.
I fully agree, Tony. They don't need to change the animation, but Shrek is old now. Shrek is old.
Of course.
Kids these days don't even know Shrek except for in memes and things like that.
That's what I was going to. That's exactly what I was going to disagree.
And the memes all look different, and they all show different. People, they're animated. They do weird things with the memes.
Shrek's
Also,
face.
Shrek in the original looks menacing.
He's an ogre.
Uglier.
Right.
Looks less sympathetic. Shrek in the new one looks a lot more sympathetic. Looks a lot more like personable, someone you could go up to and have a hug with and maybe drink a tea and not a beer. He was chugging eyeballs in the first one. Now he's a parent, and he's gonna be he's a lot more gentle. And they needed to change the animation apparently.
He's Ozem Shrek right now. But let's
Trademark.
Let's move it forward, though. We called this the Scouting Report for a reason because we are a show about predicting how this will do in the box office. So Shrek comes out Christmas of 2026.
It's tough.
Obviously, there's only 10 days before the end of 2026. We don't know if we're going to draft this movie. Someone likely will, but how much will you spend on a movie that's only coming out for 10 days? So let's do a long-range prediction. In the year 2026, only so many days you can have on there. How much money does this make in 2026 alone, worldwide? Give me a number.
$211,643,333.
An exact number that I believe is a touch too low. I'm going to go a little bit higher. I still think the Shrek brand matters. And in 10 days, with a huge opening weekend, I don't know what it's coming out afterwards, I would be surprised if this doesn't hit 300. I'm thinking 300 million domestically in those 10 days. Kellerman.
Hold on. You think that Shrek
sorry, worldwide. 300 worldwide in those 10 days, yeah.
You think that Shrek is going to just command the box office and there's not going to be another bigger property?
Of course it'll probably be a bigger property. These movies, Christmas is a huge movie time. I still think, especially kids-wise, I don't think there's going to be a lot of kids' movies going up against Shrek. Just like these guys try to space each other out. Shrek's already claimed Christmas 2026. I don't think many other challenges come in the kids' world. So yeah, I think it's a huge movie weekend. I'm at 300 worldwide.
Fair.
Kellerman?
I would even go a little bit higher and say... Wow. I was going to say 500. And
in 10 days?
Shrek is huge, guys.
Wow.
I don't think you are really giving it its fair due here. Shrek is a gargantuan franchise, and the fact that there hasn't been a Shrek in years, and now this is like its triumphant return with Zendaya, with new animation for all the new kids. You got the old audiences, you're bringing in the new audiences.
I wouldn't call it a triumphant return based on those designs.
It's going to be a blockbuster for sure. Plus, it's got Christmas weekend. People aren't at work. People need things to do with the family. I think you're right. I don't think another family movie is going to come out against it.
Yeah.
I was going to say 500, but you guys are so low. I'll just go 350 and win.
Wow. Zendaya factor is a big factor.
I'll play a little safer.
The Zendaya factor is a big factor. I'll agree with you there. So, well done.
And that was our first ever scouting report for Shrek 5, the not-so-Shreky Shrek. But that is it for this week's show for the Box Office Buzz. As always, Tony Squares, Alex Kellerman, Alex Alcheh over here. Follow us on all the platforms. Subscribe. Get on the Substack so this guy can make you laugh with all the write-ups he does for our movies. Excited about it. We'll see you next week where we don't know what we're going to do yet, but we're going to have fun.